you get there, so you've maximized your well spaced in the plot to get the maximum amount that you can get without regard for the M value. So it's just the maximum amount regardless of the species for preferred and acceptable as well. We have one hemlock, for instance, which is neither preferred or acceptable in the plot, but we're counting it as a well-spaced tree because it meets the mean intertree distance intervals. If your preferred and acceptable criteria are more stringent in the original free-growing declaration than they were in the time you did this SDM survey, then what you'd want to do is you'd want to replace that hemlock tree because it's not acceptable at free growing, so it gets dropped from your well space, and then you see if you can fill another tree into that to make up your stocking. In our case, in this plot, we couldn't, so that hemlock drops out, and you only get 5 well spaced, and that's the number that you can compare to the original free growing survey. Okay. Otherwise, from the stand gives you 6 well spaced currently at this date. After you finished doing your well spaced trees and determining what you've got on the plot, then the next thing that you want to look at is the growth intercept, your site index tree. So you want to pick the largest diameter tree of the leading species in the stand that's within 5.64 meters.
So you look for a large tree. Okay, so we found, so this is one candidate. And then we are looking to check if that other one is in as the second largest tree.
And it is out.
So this is out. Basically, that's the tree we will pick for the sample.
Okay, and for your site index tree, because you're using the growth intercept method, you want to have the diameter of the tree, the height of the tree, and an age taken, usually using the increment 4. So in the case of that tree, we have the height, diameter, and the age was what for that tree?
13.
13.
13.
13
And
at breast height.
that's pretty good. All the other plots that we had for this block all were at 13 as well, so it matches up nicely. All right, now that you've gone through and you've collected density, you've collected forest health information, you've collected heights based on your quadrants, you've collected your site index tree. The last 2 things you're doing here are your inventory label estimate and your crown closure. So for inventory label, you're looking basically at the plot and the surrounding area to determine roughly by basal area which trees are dominant and what percentage to the nearest 10% makes up the composition of the stand.
Okay. Thomas, you could actually film a bit the plot card. I'm sure you get a good... and then maybe, Stefan, if you could explain where you put things, because this actually, if you get it well, it's a good footage.